Okay, so today, guys, I want to talk about platforms. I want to get very practical with platforms. And yeah, so everyone here, I'm assuming, uses Facebook and Instagram. Those are like the basic two, right?
Yes.
Gonna assume everyone is saying yes. All right, but how much do you know about the algorithms?
Um, on my side, I know that the algorithms are different in the sense that not all of them like hashtags. And if you use a hashtag, it has to be specific geolocated or business. And certain platforms like long engaging content, while other ones are just like, just give it to me quickly and that's the end of the story. That's kind of what I know.
Okay. Terry, what do you know about the platforms and the algorithms and how it works?
Not really. I have more experience with YouTube just
Ah,
because I uploaded more there than on the other platforms.
okay, well, that works out for my strategy actually, so good.
Oh, yeah, because I know
Yeah.
Facebook, I haven't uploaded. The stuff I have on Facebook is what I have been tagged in. I
Mm.
haven't been using Facebook for any business related stuff for me. On Instagram, it's more uploads of more behind the scenes stuff. And then
Mm.
YouTube is
Mm.
my main sort of platform.
Okay. From what, just correct me if I'm wrong, Kerry, but as far as I know, you don't have like a business type page. You have your personal
No,
profiles
no,
on
it's
both
all
of
my
those.
personal pages. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
created a business one yet.
Okay. Alrighty. Janica?
So basically, I am relatively familiar with Facebook. The algorithm, am I correct if I say it is the rule that you must work by to post things? Like they tell you that they want to support a certain group of people, and that is the way you should be uploading. That is what I understand about an algorithm.
I'm not sure I understand what you say. Sorry, can you rephrase it for me?
Okay, sorry. I am relatively familiar with Facebook. Instagram, not at
Mm.
all.
Okay.
But what I understand about the algorithm is that it changes all the time, apparently, and it's very difficult to keep up. And I have no idea where people see where it changes. But the algorithm is like a rule that you must work according to when posting. That's what I think it is.
Okay. All right. And Diani?
I know both of them's platform are both Meta and Instagram. They work under the same, I think, rules and definitions, but I'm not sure about the algorithm rules. I'm familiar with Facebook just out of a ministry aspect. I used Facebook a lot, but got bumped down using certain hashtags. I think Stephanie told us about a hashtag platform where we can see certain hashtags that's actually not allocated towards Instagram and Facebook, if I'm correct. So haven't used Instagram that much just because of some of the younger generation not really using Instagram, but rather TikTok. So bit more familiar with Facebook, Instagram, bit more like the generational gap between that is I think the 30s and 40s, we're familiar with it. Younger generations, much more TikTokers, Snapchatters, and then
Mm.
obviously YouTubers. YouTube is the basic line for everyone across the spectrum. But yeah, would be interesting to hear what Stephanie is saying.
Okay, awesome. No, the reason I asked each of you is I wanted to see what I'm working with here. I don't want to work with the assumption that, let's say, you're at a certain point and then you're not. So that's awesome. Now I get to add more to my presentation as I go, which is actually nice. Okay. I am gonna, excuse me, I'm gonna throw a lot of info at you. You need to tell me when I am going to fast. you need to please put your hand up for questions or just pop out a question or something as we go. Yeah, if you want, I will give you the presentation afterwards so that you can have a look at the different things that I'm going to mention, or you can just do your own research. There's so many articles and things out there on this. Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you. Okay, but first let's talk about reach, just so that everyone knows. When I say Facebook reach, organic reach, paid reach, this is what I mean. Organic reach is how much of your audience naturally sees your post. So that's, let's say today you go and post on your page itself, and what I've noticed is most people assume that at least 50% of their audience is seeing their posts, which is actually sadly not true. And yeah, okay. So and on another note, I don't want you guys to be sad when I tell you all these stats, because the last time I did a presentation like this in front of business people, they all was like, the room was like down, the vibe was down, and I was just presenting facts. So I don't want you to feel like that, because I actually have a strategy that we can follow to solve these problems. Okay. So just keep that in the back of your mind, that we're going to start out, but there are solutions for all of these problems. Okay. Yeah, Nicole knows. Yeah. Alrighty. So organic reach. How many people naturally see your posts? Paid reach is, let's say, an ad pushing out your content to a target audience. Alrighty. Let's start with Facebook. I am just doing Facebook and Instagram today because these platforms, and I'm doing tip of the iceberg stuff here because there's just too much to delve into. It would be days in a seminar. Sorry guys, allergies. So I think next week we can handle other platforms and things like that. We can go into yeah, all the rest. But today, let's talk about Facebook. Okay. So this is the one that makes people the most sad. Organic reach, that means naturally posting, is now 1.2 to 2.6% of people who already like and follow your page. So if you have 100 followers, only between 1 and maybe 3 people are going to see your stuff, which is like, just put your hand if you're a little bummed out by the stats. I'm fully bummed out by the stat, because most people approach it with the mentality that, oh, I have posted today, so you know I'm on a roll. I've posted today, and I'm so happy that I've posted today, and da 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 da. That's Facebook, and then you see that there's no growth. You see that nothing is really happening on your page, and then you want to know why, and then you think, oh, marketing doesn't work. Marketing works. You have to know what tools you're using. So this is us getting to know the tools. I don't want you to get sad about this. We are going to, I don't want to say hack the algorithm. We have a strategy that's going to work. All right, so Facebook algorithm calculates a relevance score for each post and uses it to rank content in users' feed. Okay, so when you post something on Facebook, Facebook then analyzes your post. They look for a few things. They look, is it too salesy? If you are just hardcore, just selling, it's not going to push it out to a wide audience. If it is not valuable to people, it might not push it out to a large audience. It wants to provide value for people. So let's say Stian and Keiru are in the same sort of business, and each of them makes a post for today. Keiru makes a post that provides value and redirects me, let's say, to a long form YouTube video, which is my strategy. And I feel nurtured, I feel heard, I feel understood, and I think, okay, I want to follow this guy for more tips. Stian posts about like the exact same topic, but he posts a sales video. I mean, logically, who are you going to follow? You are going to follow the guy who's giving you value. And that is something that I think a lot of people miss and don't understand. And it's annoying because it feels like I don't. Oh, hey, here's Tammy. It feels like you don't. Hi, Tammy. We are talking about the we're talking about the Facebook and Instagram algorithms and how it works. So you just came in on the note where organic reach is 1.2% to 2.6% of people who actually already see your page or already follow your page. That's the only reach that you have. But don't worry. Okay, don't worry. Next point. Most of the time, new audiences will not see your content without a paid ad, which I know feels discouraging, right? Paid ads it is necessary. It's a necessary, I want to say almost evil to do. It's something that you have to do. But ultimately, strategy beats a high ads budget most of the time anyway. So it's good to have a great strategy and you can pair it with some paid ads. I don't want you to feel discouraged. I know I keep saying that, but I know with the first time I saw this, I think I was depressed for a few days. All right, Facebook will recommend content to you based on data points that it has collected about you. So I don't know if you guys have seen, Steven, what documentary was that? I think it's called The Great Hack. And it's this documentary on Netflix about the amount of data points that the internet has about you. And it's staggering. There's thousands of data points about you online right now. And people are using that to sell to you, and Facebook uses it specifically to recommend content to you. So even if you are scrolling past something and you scroll, but then you just pause for a second, it notes how long have you paused. It notes, are you clicking on anything? Are you liking it? Are you sharing it? And it's going to give you that sort of content again and again. So have you ever noticed, if you like me, I like a lot of cat videos, and Stian does as well. So then I like a cat video, and then for the rest of the day, I've got just really cute videos on my feed. That is Facebook looking at its data points on you and recommending to you what you will like. So you want to make sure that your content is valuable enough for people that it will actually show up in their feed, that it is something that they want to see and not just a sales thing. Okay. I have clicked and nothing is happening. Can you see? Okay. All right. So if you interact with someone, Facebook will show you more content like that, but it'll also show you more content from that person. Have you ever noticed, now? Let's say, I'll take Stian as an example again. You don't see his content for a whole year, and then it's his birthday, which is coming up next week, by the way. And then you see, oh, it's Stian's birthday. I got a reminder from Facebook, and you type on his wall, happy birthday, Stian. I hope you have an awesome day in Cape Town doing nothing and enjoying the view, which is what we're going to do, and go rock climbing. And all of a sudden you see Stian all over your feed. You see his stuff all over your feed. So whenever you do that, let's say you go to somebody out of the blue, even if it's their birthday, and you interact with them, Facebook takes notes, and it's like, hey, so Stephanie wants to see a lot more of Stian's posts, no matter what they are. So I don't know the exact numbers of how many people are on the top of, let's say, your list, but a few years back it was 40. So let's say you have 2,000 friends. The top 40 people that you are interacting with will be the people whose content you see over and over and over again, which is because it wants you to feel like you are closer to your friends or give you content about your friends. But it's not always nice for us as business owners because we want people to see our stuff. So yeah, just keep that in mind. All right, So I want to talk about how the algorithm currently works. So before I do that, the algorithm is run by an AI. And it works according to certain rules and it does certain things, right? It has certain signals that it sends, but they don't release the actual document saying this is the algorithm. They've never released that, to my knowledge. Not the full one. I mean, there's been like leaks and it says, oh, this is what the algorithm's doing, that's what the algorithm's doing. Janneke, that's why everybody gets really bummed out, or people take notice when the algorithm changes, because it's like, oh my gosh, we got a golden nugget, we actually know what's going on. So this is what's going on. But the Facebook algorithm does 4 things. Number 1 is it checks inventory, collects all available content from friends, pages, and groups. Then it signals, analyzes various factors such as who posted the content, the types of content, and the user interactions. Next, it does some predictions, predicts how likely a user is to engage with a piece of content. And then gives it a relevance score. So, and then assigns a score to each piece of content to determine its placement in the user's feed. My first question to that would be, what's my relevancy score? They never tell you your relevancy score. They just say it's going to be scored, which is very irritating because you don't get to see where your content scores generally in that. And this is one of the reasons why we had that social media interaction club on Mondays. For those of you that know it, we will get each person on the group is supposed to like, share, and comment. Well, not share, but like and comment on somebody's post, so that it signals to the platforms that this is a relevant post. This post should be pushed out to more people, and this is the sort of content that I like, or that this is valuable content. So basically what it does is, if this is your post, it first releases it to a small group of people. And to my knowledge, this is how a lot of the algorithms work. If these people really like the post, it will release it to more people and more people and more people, and then it's viral. If it never goes past here, and you never get any comments and you never get any likes or shares or anything like that, it's going to stay here. So you want people to see it, which is why we put money on posts and why we do ads. Alrighty. How's everyone doing? You still all right? You're not too depressed? Okay. Instagram. So organic reach is better on Instagram than it is on Facebook. 6 to 8% doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, it's better than 1 to 2%. It's radically better. And that is people who already follow your page. So most of the time you're going to reach your actual followers and not non-followers, because let's face it, we actually want non-followers to view our stuff so that we can get new clients. That's the gist of it. Okay, so the bad news here, and the good news, I guess, is that hashtags actually don't work anymore. They just don't. So I've been suspecting this for like a while, and then a few weeks ago I discovered a video by Adam Mosseri, who is the CEO of Instagram, and I'll share the video for you guys on the group. Somebody caught Adam Mosseri on the streets at night. So somebody saw, oh my gosh, it's the CEO of Instagram, and started asking him some questions really fast. And then they asked him, do hashtags work? And he's like, they don't. I can tell you that hashtags don't work. So, and that is verbatim his words. So people have been wondering for years. I think at one point maybe they worked, but they were actually, you have to think about how Instagram was built. It was built originally as a photo sharing app. It was built as a photo sharing app for photographers and people in that field. So basically what would happen is Keiru posts a photo and then says hashtag Keiru Wilson. And then I wanted to follow Keiru Wilson. So I will say I'm following this hashtag. And then it will signal to Instagram that, okay, I'm interested in this thing and I'm going to see all of Keiru's posts with this hashtag on it. That's basically how it started. Then people went really nuts with it, and now it's like out of control. At some points, there's people who use like up to 35 hashtags, which is I think the limit on 30 or 35 hashtags on Instagram. They don't work at all. They have never worked on Facebook, and they don't work to sell your product on Instagram unless you are having, let's say, have you seen those weddings? In this case, I think it would work. So let's say you're going to a wedding and there's a hashtag at the door and they say, okay, just tag us in any of your photos or use this hashtag in your photos so that we can find our photos and everybody at the wedding can find the similar photos of this wedding. So then it will be hashtag Weatherby wedding or something like that. Yes, Nicole, that's you. So we would then follow Weatherby wedding, provided that no one else is taking that hashtag. You would then go check, has anyone used it before, blah, blah, blah. And in that case, it would work for you because in that case, you'd be able to find what you're looking for. But yeah, the reason I'm spending so much time on this one is because there's been so much discussion about this topic, and it's exhausting trying to figure out which hashtags to use, to the point where I'm actually, Diani, thank you for reminding me, I am using software that is paid for to check for banned hashtags, which is good because I can check for banned hashtags, but now I don't need to use hashtags in my new posts because they don't work. So I don't have to worry about which ones to use or not, just eliminate it altogether. All right. Instagram prioritizes authentic content above all. So that is, you took your phone out and you're talking to the camera about a story, or you're doing something cool or whatever. It doesn't have to be something cool. It just has to be authentic. It has to be you. It prioritizes authenticity over AI images, over AI videos, over sales videos, and way beyond videos with logos and things like that, like things like watermarks in it. It really prefers authenticity. And Adam Naziri did say that as well a few months ago. It's hard to keep track with him because he talks a lot. So the next thing, Facebook is seen as the older generation's platform, whereas Instagram would be used by the younger people mostly, and that's Gen X and millennial, and the actual young, that's why I put it in inverted commas, people, like the Alpha generation and Gen Z. To my knowledge, they use a lot of TikTok, sometimes YouTube, and depending on the country, they can get very much into Twitter or X. Yeah, but if you are looking at what is my target market, you must think about what is my target market and which platform should be the one that I prioritize the most. I try and post on all the platforms because it is our business. It is what we do. And I like doing experiments to see, okay, I'm going to try Instagram and Facebook, and I'm going to do LinkedIn as well, just to cover my bases because you never know what you'll get. Alrighty. Instagram is also primarily a mobile app. So there are features on the mobile app on your phone that are not available for edit on a desktop version of Instagram. I think they want you on your phone. They want you on your phone scrolling for hours, like people do on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok. Okay. So this is how the algorithm works. User activity, engagement such as likes, comments, shares, and saves influence who or what content appears in your feed. So again, popular posts are going to appear more in your feed than something that has never been liked before, except if, well, yeah, there's exceptions. It is a bit complicated. Relationship strength. Okay, so accounts that you interact with more frequently are likely to appear in your feed. I had a client last year. Sorry, just hang on 1 second. Sorry. I had a client last year that no matter what I did, wouldn't really listen to me. I told him, stop interacting with things on your profile as if it's your personal profile, because he was liking, he's in finance, but he was interacting with and liking things about the gym, and very much lots of sexy girls at the gym, liking their images. And then dogs, because they had a bulldog. And so those are the people that then Instagram is going to start promoting your stuff to. And that is the truth of it. So I told him, if you want to do that on your personal account. Go and create a personal account so that you can go and look at people at the gym, so that you can post your own gym stuff, and you can go and have fun on your own. But the thing is that you're busy screwing up the algorithm for me, and I can't do my job right. I told him about 30,000 times. I think some of you might know who it is, and he never ever listened. And then at the end of last year, he just started ghosting me, and I got this email out of nowhere saying he's out. And I'm like, well, I told you what to do, and you didn't want to listen to me. He actually very specifically was interacting a lot with his fiance, and so she would always see his content. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to see your content. It doesn't mean that anyone here would see his content, because he was interacting with a certain demographic, and you are sending a signal to the platform that that is a demographic that I want to see my content. But if you go and do some proper community engagement and you interact with, let's say, customers, or actually also your competitors, people who are like you, and you comment on their stuff, and you like it, you scroll past it, you follow them, that tells the algorithm this is the type of company I keep, this is the type of things that I'm interested in, and this is the type of client that I want to see my profile. Make sense? Okay, so content information, details about the post such as its popularity and the type of content affects visibility. Sorry, guys. Okay, so content information, obviously, it affects visibility. So that same video I mentioned earlier where Adam Aziri said that hashtags don't work. Somebody asked him right in the beginning, it's like, how do I succeed with the Instagram algorithm? What do I do? And he said, it's really complicated. There's a lot of factors, but you have to be authentic and create content that people want to see. So basically, create the content and think to yourself, if I saw this, is this something that I would want to see? Or is it just selling? If it is simply selling, oh, spellers everywhere, sorry, then it might not be something that people want to see. And don't get me wrong, you can use sales videos now and sales posts and things like that, but don't make it your main focus, because honestly, who's going to want to follow you if all you do is talk about yourself? So there's this comparison that I like to do. You go on a first date, and this person that you're on the date with, all they do is talk about themselves. They never ask about you. They never give any valuable information. They never show that they even care about what you care about, or that they are interested in your interests. Is there going to be a second date? No, there's probably not going to be a second date. And everybody understands that because it's a really simple principle. But why is it that we still do it in business today? Because people are people, and people work like that. Why are we selling constantly to people when they want to feel heard, they want to feel loved, they want to feel cared about, they want value? And in this day and age where we're living with so much AI, they want to feel like, you know, they're getting some actual authentic value from an actual person on the other side of the screen and not just another bot. And timeliness. So recent posts are given priority. This isn't always the case, okay? So like I said, it also depends on the myriad of factors. But basically, if you have a strategy, it shouldn't really, if you have a strategy like ours, it shouldn't really, this won't really affect my strategy at all, because I have a way of drawing people to my profile. So it doesn't really matter what time I post. But if you don't have a strategy and okay, so this same guy who that client I spoke about, he also had this philosophy that he wants to be the first one in his industry to post. So he wanted to post at 1 minute past midnight. And then I'm like, but listen, dude, nobody is why do you want to do that? No, I want people to see my stuff first. I'm like, cool. Okay, so when everyone wakes up and goes to work and at 8 o'clock starts on social media, you're 8 hours late by your own logic. No, but everyone sits on the toilet at 12 o'clock at night. I'm like, no. Not everybody. This is actually, I promise you, this is what he said. So the time of day that you post is sometimes relevant. It really depends on your strategy. There's so many moving parts, which is why I said in the beginning, don't get discouraged. Okay. Next, it prioritizes on your feed, it prioritizes content based on user activity. So this is specifically on your feed. So it's likes, comments, shares, and saves, information about the post and the relationship between the user and the content. Sorry. Next, for stories, it shows content from accounts that you've interacted with frequently or even recently. So considered with your recent engagement. So stories are those little circles at the top when you're on Instagram, and you will typically see stories from people that you have been interacting with. I see my neighbor up there lately in the last week because we are kind of making friends, and then she just added me on Instagram. Now I am seeing her stuff up there. And that is that's proof of, well, that this is true. On your explore page, displays content based on your activity in explore. The popularity of the post, the information about the content creator. So in my experience on the explore page, it's going to show me stuff that it thinks I want to see. And then sometimes it shows me things I don't understand. Why am I seeing this? But I think it's just things that maybe profiles like myself would want to see, even if it's not 100% accurate. It's sometimes playing with it to see, is it going to work? And then with reels, ranks content based on user activity, information about the reel, the poster, and your history of interacting with similar. Sorry, guys. But yeah, something I noticed recently is that for me, reels have been, they get a lot more organic feed engagement than a normal post would. But it also is dependent on myriad of factors. Okay, so I'm guessing that this is how your head feels. Hands up if this is how your head feels. All the info. Sorry, Leonie, Nicole. Terry looks okay. He's smiling. Okay. Before I continue, does anyone have questions on those?
I have a question, Stephanie. Is it true? I don't know how it is, but like if you don't post on Facebook and Instagram for a while, doesn't it in a sense put you in the naughty corner? Like how long can you take, or is it depends on industry how long it takes for you to post again, or is it just You're not paying attention to us, so we won't pay attention to you. Like a child.
It's like a child. You're right, Nicole. Yeah, no, that is true. Like I said, we're just covering some of the basics here today, because if we cover more, well, we try to cover everything, I'd be talking about Instagram for days.
Fair enough.
We'd
Okay,
be-
gotcha.
Yeah. No, but you're absolutely right. I should have thought to add that, so thank you. Yes, it is true. I've seen accounts that they classify as dead, but Instagram won't tell you that your account is dead. It's you haven't posted in like a month or a few months, or accounts that haven't posted in years. It classifies it as like it just kind of starts thinking, you know, in the fish pond. Can't explain it, and then you have to resurrect it. So it's actually easier to get new followers for a new account than it is to resurrect an old account, which is insane. Yeah, it is quite insane. Earlier this year, we had a client who, and it's a different person from the other one. He had an Instagram account, and I said to him, listen, you haven't used this account in like 2 years. How about we start a new one? And he didn't have a lot of followers, like 140 followers. So we could definitely start a new one, I felt like. And he said, no, doesn't want to start a new one, wants to continue this one. And I said, okay, cool. Then he said, oh, I just want to delete like most of the stuff on my profile. And just so you know, don't ever do that. If you want to do anything like that, archive. Facebook and Instagram, archive. If you have to do that, because it also signals to the algorithm that something is wrong, and then you somehow end up at the bottom of the fish pond again. Dead. It's dead. Yeah, dead. You kill your account. So then like 2 months later, this guy was complaining to me, and I'm like, listen, dude, I told you. I told you I advised against this several times. I put it in writing, and you didn't listen to me. You didn't have a response. So there's so many different things that it feels like sometimes there's so many different things you have to remember with the algorithms, and do this, don't do this, don't do this, do this. But ultimately, what I think you need is a strategy. If you start with a decent strategy and you just follow through with that strategy, and you just ignore everything that's going on around you and the 30,000 changes that are going to happen, unless it's like a dire change, like I had today with a client, then yeah, just keep to your strategy. And to also answer your very first question, Janneke, yes, it does change. The algorithms change often. I am sure that one happened in the last few days or in the last week. I'm actually sure of it, but I can't prove it. That there was something on Facebook ads specifically, because a client that we have been running ads for years, all of a sudden the exact same ad, it is saying that it's violating community guidelines. So they added in a new community guideline somewhere, and I can't figure it out yet. So I'm going to have to deep dive and figure it out. Yeah, that is worst case scenario. Other than that, yeah, it's rejecting all the ads. I can't put the ads up. But other than that, don't worry about it too much. Just think on your strategy. All right, so our strategy is Flywheel and the 7-11-4 rule. As I've mentioned to you guys before, the 7-11-4 rule is basically, it was created by Google. Google did an analysis of 30 years of buying data, and they came up with something called the 0 moment of truth. So the 0 moment of truth is that moment of truth that you, the customer, decide to either buy or to walk away. What it takes to get you as a stranger to buy from me online as another stranger. And they found that it takes 7 hours of contact with your brand, which sounds like a lot, but it's okay. We fixed that with our strategy. 11 touch points. So that is, okay, this is a stress ball by our new client. This is a touch point. because it's very useful. A business card over there is a touch point. A post on Instagram is a touch point. A video on YouTube is a touch point. A billboard is a touch point. 11 touch points. And let's say on 4 platforms, Instagram, Facebook, email, and yeah, you can pick your platforms, but just find something that works for you. And between the 7, 11, and the 4, it brings people to the 0 moment of truth, where they can make that decision to actually buy from you. All right, so this is what big brands are using, like Coca-Cola, like Nike, like all the rest. They're not pushing sales and buy now and specials and all of that. They're just carrying on with their brand. They've created a culture around this brand itself, and they're just living that. And it turns into 7 hours, 11 touch points, and 4 platforms. So on the left is the flywheel. And what I've been doing with you guys for the past few weeks is basically focusing on your offer. Because the thing is that if you're not selling, then either there is something wrong with your marketing. Well, they say your funnel, but we don't use funnel. So I'm going to say with your marketing or with your offer. And the first place that we usually start is the offer, because it doesn't help that we start to sell something that is broken to begin with, or people don't understand. Okay, so this is our strategy with the flywheel. We are going to create a foundation of long form videos on YouTube. Karu, this is why I said that this works for you. And on top of that, we are also going to take those long form videos and edit them down into reels and shorts and TikToks, so that you have that content that you can use on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok, and platforms that accept video content, so that you can get or trigger them to go and look at your long form content. Reels and Instagram, Facebook lead to long form content. You see, I didn't click, I should have clicked. You use a ManyChat automation to collect email addresses and redirect people to your long form video. Okay, is there anyone here that doesn't know what I'm talking about with the ManyChat automation? And it's okay, because I'll show you now if you haven't seen it before.
I
seen
am
it,
not
but it's-
familiar with the ManyChat automation at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, perfect.
I've seen
Nicole?
it, but I've seen it, but it's like science.
It does feel like science. The first time you look at it, it looks like formulas, right? But it's okay. I will guide you guys through this process, or we can do it for you if you decide. So another part of the strategy is to make a lot of videos and make sure that there's enough to binge over a weekend, let's say. Because if somebody finds your channel and they see this one video that you're advertising and it's incredibly valuable, they're going to go, because we are in a binge era now, so they're going to go to your YouTube channel and they're going to check, what else do you have? And right there, they've watched an hour and a half of your content, and they are already 1 hour and a half into the 7-11 rule. You've already started to build trust. At this point, certain clients are going to say, I'm ready right now. I want to buy right now. So your job is not to sell to people. Your job is to create so much value that the law of reciprocity kicks in, which is basically, I have given you so much value that you feel like you owe me and you want to buy from me. And it really works. It really does. And next, you just have to be there when it's time. It can take up to 2 years. I just got to tell you, it can take up to 2 years for a potential client to become a client, to build that trust with you, to feel comfortable enough that they want to actually do this, or it can take a few days, a few weeks. I have 3 new clients today. Well, I didn't get them today, but in the past few months, since I've been using this, I have 3 new clients that have contacted us and have already signed up. and one of them is now our biggest client. And tomorrow, Kairu's going to go and shoot a video for us at their office. And it all came through this. I've never met them. I've never met them. Righty. Oh, apparently that one went off last. Stop selling and start focusing on value. Okay. So before I show you the mini chat thing, does anyone have any questions? Oh, good. Alrighty. I want to go to our profile. So I pinned this video up here, right? Because this is the one that leads to the long form content. So I pinned it up here, and I've been doing some ads on it. Check out these insights. This is not what I would usually get, right? On the side here, there's 43,636 views, 801 interactions, and 332 people checked my profile. The reach was 24,000. Yeah, my other posts don't do this well. They just don't. But this is the strategy. Yes, it was a paid ad, but I got 64 saves. 64 people saved this post, which I've never had in my entire life before. And 27 shares. Oh, that's cool. And 360 comments. Because I told them, comments fly if you would like to see, yeah, I said comment fly if you want to see the whole strategy. So this is how the mini chat thing looks on the front end. You prompt the person to comment with a very specific keyword on your video, okay? And on the front end, what they'll just see is, oh, I commented fly. This is Henry. And I have an automation that says, thanks, check your DMs. And you'll see they're not all the same. This one says, thanks, check your DMs. And now in my DMs, it sent her a message. Well, it sends everyone the standard message. Hey, do you want a new kick-ass strategy? So they just have to click yes, right? And then it says, drop your email below and we'll send over the link. They sent their email, sorry, just we have to blur this down when people see it, and then, or before we upload it. And then here it says, awesome, click below and follow the link. And where does this lead us? This leads straight to an ad, seriously? Okay, this is the wrong account, but it's fine. This is to my long form video teaching you about this strategy. Okay. I really love this strategy, I really do. It's not mine, I didn't make it up. So I'm not tooting my own horn here. I did a lot of research last year, and then I figured this out, and okay, I have to fix this Instagram connection, but in the meantime, what I'm going to do here is just quickly show you behind the scenes. Stian would not want me to do this, guys. But he's been so quiet, maybe he doesn't even know I'm here. Okay. So this is basically how it works on the back end. It does look like math. You can say, so I've set it for all posts and reels. So anytime anyone comments fly or flywheel on any of my posts on Instagram specifically, then it is going to trigger this keyword. I did it that way because I know that this is a topic I'm going to talk about multiple times, and it might just be easier for me, make my life easier if I can get people to go through the automation on their own. Okay. So then there are randomized replies here. So once you comment fly, it's going to reply automatically. I'm asleep right now, and it's going to say, thanks, check your DMs, as if I'm so on top of things and so awake, which I love. Next, it's going to DM you. And it's going to say to you, hey, do you want a new kick-ass strategy? And if you click yes, it's going to say, drop your email below. If you don't respond, it gives you like 24 hours or 15. Okay, here we said 15, but it can be up to 24 hours. And then you can say, hey, are you still there? Do you want the strategy? Leave the email. So it gives them an option to opt out. They don't have to stay in the cycle, but they it gives them an option to, it just reminds them that you're still there. And check here, I've sent 87 of these messages, which means we've received 87 email addresses, by the way. They were all delivered, all opened, and 77 people actually clicked the flywheel thing. This is just back-end stuff. This is the math. This is where the math comes in. This is like what Stian does. But yeah, so that is how I now collect email addresses. The beauty of this is that the system is always running in the background. And so this is, oh, hang on. Going to our accounts. Yeah. The beauty of this is that the system is always running. You can be added to my email list at any time, and it's automated. Okay, this is the last time I ran an ad was on the 5th, and I have these email addresses. Okay. And then what you do is you nurture these people through campaigns or automations that you've set up. The first one that I did, the first one in my automation is basically introducing myself and saying, hey, this is who I am. I really hate photos of myself, but here you go. If you want to opt out, that's fine. But I give away a freebie here. So I give away like I can't remember, a checklist or a content strategy or something in this first email. And then I wait 7 days, and then I do the next one, 7 days, the next one, 7 days, the next one. Okay, so I've chosen to make it for once a week because people have actively given me their Instagram or their email addresses via Instagram, right? You don't have to do that. You can do something else, and you can do it whichever way you want to. So this is how it works. I actually am busy right now creating my next video. Remember I said to you guys last week, keep me accountable, I have to film. We actually filmed. By we, I mean me. Well, Stian did too. Like a little bit. And yeah, that's the strategy. Does anyone have questions? Did you understand what I did there with the mini chat?
I understood, but it still looks like science.
Does, right?
Yeah, it's very confusing, to be honest.
Like I do websites and I understand CSS more than I do many chats. Like that's not normal.
Okay, Nicole, so tell you what, you can do my websites and I'll do your many chats
School.
automation.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Yes. Okay.
It looks a
Janneke,
lot
did
like nodes.
like nodes, yeah, it is
Yeah.
basically nodes.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, it's
so
logical.
true. Yes. Well,
Oh,
we could
Cameron,
fight
yeah,
about logic with
actually.
my creativity.
Okay, yeah, Cameron, actually, because you do 3D and Blender and stuff like that, you would,
Yeah, the GeoNode stuff. It's
Mm. Yeah, okay. But Janneke, you said it was confusing. Did you understand like the flow of it at least?
Understood the flow and I understood the concept behind it.
Mm.
I think it will be amazing if you can actually like grasp it.
Mm. It is. It is.
Yeah.
It took, I'll be honest, it took me a while. I found this concept somewhere and I had to do a lot of research behind it. I did hours and hours and hours of literally playing the same videos over and over again so that I know that I can understand this thing backwards. And because it's a new concept, you might have to do that, and just have grace for yourself in that. And it's okay to not understand it immediately. Because I also just remember as well that I went through a year of coaching last year with Peng Jun, who coached me through funnels. Now this is the opposite to funnels, but I wouldn't understand this if I didn't understand what he taught me last year. So it still had its merits. So please, guys, if you ever feel confused or you're not sure what's going on, please just reach out to me or ask about it. It doesn't make you stupid at all. It just means it's a new concept that you have to understand.